Hello, I'm Andi and I'm going to read to you a tarot monthly horoscope program. This is for April 2018 and it's for you coming from Capricorn. So let me shuffle my Kabbalistic tarot cards, and the first card that I'm going to pull is going to be for the first 15 days of the month of April. Now, before I go ahead, I'd like to just make it clear that I do charge USD 50 for a 90-minute Skype session or Facebook camera session so that I can have your 7 or 8 years done for you, for your future. Normally, this message is towards the end of the program. Many people don't wait till that time, and so they're quite surprised when they email to me and expect it for free. So let's make that clear, okay? Thank you. Now, this card that I've pulled for you, you coming from Capricorn, it's a good enough card. That's the most I can say for it. A good enough card. There is the planet Mars, and there is the planet Uranus and the planet of Venus. And so for you, this period, I would say that your determination will be strong enough to get what you want. So let's talk of a possibility of a new love romance, a new romance coming your way for the first 15 days. I would say it would be good enough. Grab it. It will come. There's enough energy to send somebody to see you or be with you, or you hear from, or you make the move. So first 15 days can provide the chances of a new romance quite easily. The drawback is that the past of this person may be a little bit complicated. That's about the only worry I would have. If you have an ongoing romance in the first 15 days of April, then I would say that be a bit careful not to bring up issues which are old and which are of the past. And if you can do that, things will go well enough for you. There's enough energy in this card to get your ongoing romance to go to the next stage, wanting to buy a car together, an apartment together, invest together, be together, and talks of long term as well. There's enough energy in this card. But there's also energy here of delays. So don't be too hasty or too impatient in wanting things to get done. Don't make your ongoing love affair, your romance, ongoing to become insecure by being too pushy. Play the waiting game. Things will turn well for you. Now, if you are married, you have to be a bit careful that past affairs, which can be many types of affairs, financial or personal or health areas, they may be coming about in the first 15 days to produce concern and to produce disappointment. So it's you who's listening to me. So this message is targeted to you. You may be the victim of such things which may be happening to your partner or which may be done to your marriage partner. So be ready that about 40% of problems, whether in romance, whether in new or ongoing romance, or whether in marriage areas, is waiting to somehow bring disappointments. The other 60% you have under control, which is good enough to keep things afloat and keep things going. So don't want to be too pushy in your marriage area about wanting to be taking the risk of any kind, whether with your marriage partner or whether outside your activities. So don't take risks and be careful. Let's go to your job area. And your job area says that up to 60% you are safe. And so the job that you have is not going to bring about great returns or big promotions or more money or more status. It's going to allow you to keep going. So the other 40% can be differences from your colleagues or from your superiors or from your bosses. You just have to work very hard at the level of 60% naturally that comes for you and make it even more better by working harder. Put your shoulder to the wheel. Get your deadlines correct. Don't make mistakes in the first 15 days, because the other 40% which is negative can easily come at you. If you have a business, then it gets more serious. It says if you're trying to chase for business, you have a chance of only 60%. So it may be wasting money to chase for the business, to entertain people, to spend money to promote your own business so that you can attract the businesses of others. I would say don't. Be happy with what you have in your hands. Consolidate, which means look after what you have and make it better and make it stronger rather than being adventurous. So don't be adventurous. Play safe. Your money situation is only up to 60% steady. 40% can be losses or can be money not being able to be got because payments may be too close. So you are just about surviving pretty well, that's all. Well, that's what I have to tell you. Let me pull the next card. And the next card is meant to be for the last 15 days or so, and that's for you from Capricorn. And it doesn't do well, it even gets worse. So there you are. That 60% on which you were riding in the first 15 days lessens to now 30%. So if you have been taking risk in the first 15 days, you are in trouble in the last 15 days. Let's start with the let's start with the new romance. If you do get a new romance in the second 15 days, a new romance in the second 15 days, I would say it's almost deadly. It's almost worrisome. It's almost scary in a way, because that person comes loaded with complications. All of us have some complication or another in our lives anyway, but here the 30% of advantage, that's all you have, puts you at great risk. Financial commitments may have to be made for a new romance and help that way as well. If you like that person and love that person very much that you have just found, who's introduced herself or himself to you in the last 15 days, all right, fair enough, do your sacrificing, but keep my words in mind that there is insecurity definitely in the new romance you will find in the last 15 days. Your ongoing love romance in the last 15 days also not very steady. It produces conflicts. And by the way, the new romance can also bring conflict in terms of confrontation or provocation. So your ongoing romance does the same, provocation and a lot of conflict that way. And so if you value your romance, you'll have to bend backwards basically to accommodate the person. And if you don't value it, it'll just break down very fast, because to have only 30% of advantage to keep it going is very difficult to be above water. You can sink very easily, or this romance can sink very easily. So it's all up to you in what you want. Here the cards, on this card, the signs of Gemini and then the signs of Mars and of the new moon are here. This combination for you coming from Capricorn is not good. It allows survival at a very big risk. It allows survival in a fashion where you'll have to make sacrifices. And the sacrifices don't outweigh the consequences of your risk. So if you do find a new romance or your ongoing romance, is going to be very tough going. As I said, it's all up to you. You have it in your hands to control it. And if you like the person, make the commitment to go through with it. It's only 15 days, last 15 days after all. Now, if you are married, this last 15 days is going to be very taxing. Arguments, quarrels, impulsive things said, impulsive things done. All that is shown in the last 15 days. So you coming from Capricorn are going to have a pretty tough time in the last 15 days. And if you're not careful, the new romance that you find, the ongoing romance, the marriage, is all going to be in difficulties. And your marriage situation, there are new issues cropping in there. That's what the sign of Gemini will bring. New issues, new complications, new financial trouble. So it's not something of the past, but it's now turning out in the last 15 days to appear. And so, as I said, if you value your marriage, you'll be able to improve it. Let's talk of your job. And your job in the last 15 days is critical, meaning that it's in trouble. And so in the last 15 days, if you don't care for your job, you will definitely make it slide to the point of you'll be removed. And if you value your job, it's going to be an uphill struggle in the sense that you'll have to try very hard. And you'll be able to make it because Your bosses and your superiors are watching you, and if they see that you're committed to getting your deadlines, committed to getting your job done well, coming to work on time, showing the attitude which is positive and wanting to help the business you work for, all this then will help you, and you will be able to overcome difficulties. It's all about perception. So put your appearance that you are all in to want this job and to work hard at it. And thereby you will get your last 15 days to be better and better. Now, if you are in business, that makes it more serious because your exposure to money loss will be more. And so be careful in your business. All you have is 30% going for you. And this 30% can even dwindle down. And so in business, you can't afford to take new risks, meaning wanting to go for new businesses, wanting to fight to win contracts, wanting to spend money to show your capabilities. All this self-promotion in business costs money. It's not going to get you very far. I would rather you just lie low and rather forsake what could have been yours, because even if it becomes yours in these last 15 days, it will bring trouble and complications. So be happy with what you have, consolidate with what you have, work towards making what you have better. That would be, I think, safer in the area of business as well. So all areas of life almost in the last 15 days very taxing. Now looking at your health areas, you coming from Capricorn, the signs on this planet show uric acid problems. So go to the internet, find out what uric acid problems are. They are concerned with your diet and also with the gout, G-O-U-T, because uric acid levels will go high, usually eating and drinking the wrong things. And the other thing from the other card is putting on weight. So obesity is also a problem now. Either many of us, when we are in a down period, we eat too much because we try to console ourselves by showing that we have enough food to eat, or more than enough food to eat. So watch out for these two things, putting on weight in the month of April. Well, I'm already Skyping and I'm charging USD 50 for a 90-minute Skype session, and this Skype session is based on your date of birth and your time of birth and looking at your palms and face, reading you while I Skype as well. And with all this information I'll do your next 8 or 9 years, and I'll talk it age by age, calendar year by calendar year, what's going to happen to you, and that will put you definitely in a position to plan ahead. And I will even talk to you about health areas. So go to Facebook, go to Skype, leave me a message, send me an email, let's get down to contact, and then let's get down to having your 90-minute Skype session with me, costing you USD 50, but helping you in the next 8 or 9 years. Until then, thank you and good luck.